Welcome back to my channel. Thanks for joining me. We are on lesson 195 of A Course in Miracles workbook. Let's go ahead and dive right in. Love is the way I walk in gratitude. Deep breath in. Here we go. Gratitude is a lesson hard to learn for those who look upon the world amiss. The most that they can do is see themselves as better off than others, and they try to be content because another seems to suffer more than they. How many times have we looked at another brother and said, oh, it could be a lot worse, we could be in that position? And that's how we feel somewhat like grateful of our success or our health or our well-being, because somebody else is suffering or in a worse situation. Now, I understand some people come from a very humble place saying, no, you have to understand that, when I see that, it reminds me to not lose sight of the good things around me. But it is true. It's almost like we have to see another suffer for us to be reminded to be grateful. And number one, because we are all connected, you don't want to see suffering in another to fortify us. And really, you want, the goal here is to look beyond the suffering of another and know that whatever it looks like, you've been there. Maybe it not on the outside, not, on the exterior, but the interior, we have felt exactly as that person either looks, is experiencing, is behaving externally from what we can see, and definitely internally. And all you want, when you feel healing, you don't say, when you have really been healed and you have the thoughts of God and you hear the voice of God and you are with your Creator for the majority of your days, you will look on another brother and see their light, no matter what the external is showing. And you are helping them heal by not seeing them in their sickness. You can't look at another brother in their sickness and feel grateful. The only way all this whole transaction will work is when you see another brother as who they truly are and know that whatever is going on is the illusion and it will go bye-bye. The sooner we can reflect God's light onto them and see God's light within them, then a connection is made in the ethereal, but that is in the real dimension. And what we are seeing in this 3D reality is not the truth. But they, for whatever reason, in their sleeping mind, they are only seeing through the eyes of the ego, and that is why they might be suffering. But when you have people truly connected that can see their true essence, it will start the healing for them so they can see their own true essence. And that is real love. That is eternal love. You don't know them. They look like they might be on some substance. They may have sores all over their body. They might be begging. They may have stolen to fuel their addictions, their trauma, whatever it is, maybe mental health. And looking at that only reaffirms that that is who they are, and that is not who they are. That is not who they are. So when you really start to undo the mind and feel the healing, all you want to do is look at another brother and see them as who they truly are. Healed, whole, of light, love, compassion, forgiveness, all of it. I know that God created them. They are as God created them. We are as God created us. That's just, it's so easy to forget. We get blinded by bullshit, this exterior. And there's the guy or the girl that's suffering on the street. I'm just taking like a homeless situation, that to our very judgmental, egoic perspective, they are not looking that great. They're looking like they are failing in life, right? That's what our egoic mind will translate that as. And then we find out that the guy driving, or the girl driving the Lamborghini, you know, with a nice fancy job title and a big house and, you know, a beautiful, what seems to be a beautiful relationship, we find out that their interior is an exact match to maybe what our egoic is, you know, translating on an exterior of a homeless person. Same energy. One was able to manifest the trinkets to mask, and I'm not saying not everybody that's driving a Lamborghini is masking pain and dejection and all of that. I'm not saying that, but I am saying that it could be exactly the same, but completely different costumes. Same hurt, same suffering within. One is using addictions to cope. The other is using their ability to manifest a lot of stuff to cope by working hard and really manifesting a lot of money and stuff and things to also cope with what's going on in here. And they're the same energy. They're struggling the same. Again, this is not everybody, but you'd be surprised, and we're learning more and more. If you watch enough Netflix documentaries, there is a lot of pain in the most unexpected individuals. You know, we don't know what goes on behind closed doors. Okay. Wow, sorry for the tangent, but when we start to really share this understanding and awareness, when we start to share the truth, it's looking at everything almost the same. One beam of light. Okay, I'm going to start off again. So I'm going to just... Okay, so I'm going to just repeat the second line. I'm only on sentence 2 of this long lesson. The most that they can do is see themselves as better off than others, and they try to be content because another seems to suffer more than they. How pitiful and deprecating are such thoughts. For who has cause for thanks while others have less cause? And who could suffer less because he sees another suffer more? Your gratitude is due to him alone who made all cause of sorrow disappear throughout the world. I mean, the only entity we should be grateful for is the power, the knowledge, the light, the love of God. That's it. And that gratitude, when it comes from that place, is the realest, truest thing that you can experience. And then you can see your brother as you, as one. And you then in turn become a huge part of the healing of this planet. We have a responsibility, right? What was that lesson? That our role is the salvation of the world. God gave us that role. We came here for that purpose. Okay. It is insane to offer thanks because of suffering, but it is equally insane to fail in gratitude to one who offers you the certain means whereby all pain is healed and suffering replaced with laughter and with happiness. Nor could the even partly sane refuse to take the steps which he directs and follow in the way he sets before them, to escape a prison that they thought contained no door to the deliverance they now perceive. Your brother is your enemy because you see in him the rival for your peace, as if, if they have to suffer, I get more peace. And if I'm suffering, they're more peaceful. That's insane. That's like saying like the sun is worried that it's not going to have enough sunlight because it's competing with the rain and cloud coverage. It's insane. Okay. Your brother's your enemy because you see in him the rival for your peace, a plunderer who takes his joy from you and leaves you nothing but a black despair so bitter and relentless that there is no hope remaining. Now is vengeance all there is to wish for. Now can you but try to bring him down to lie in death with you, as useless as yourself, as little left within his grasping fingers as in yours. You do not offer God your gratitude because your brother is more slave than you, nor could you sanely be enraged if he seems freer. Love makes no comparisons. And gratitude can only be sincere if it be joined to love. We offer thanks to God our Father that in us all things will find their freedom. It will never be that some are loosed while others still are bound. For who can bargain in the name of love? Therefore give thanks, but in sincerity. And let your gratitude make room for all who will escape with you, the sick, the weak, the needy and afraid, and those who mourn a seeming loss or feel apparent pain, who suffer cold or hunger, or who walk the way of hatred and the path of death. All these go with you. Let us not compare ourselves with them, for thus we split them off from our awareness of the unity we share with them, as they must share with us. We thank our Father for one thing alone, that we are separate from no living thing, and therefore one with him. And we rejoice that no exceptions ever can be made which would reduce our wholeness, nor impair or change our function to complete the one who is himself completion. I'm telling you, we've got a job here, folks. We give thanks for every living thing, for otherwise we offer thanks for nothing, and we fail to recognize the gifts of God to us. Then let our brothers lean their tired heads against our shoulders as they rest a while. We offer thanks for them, for if we can direct them to the peace that we would find, the way is opening at last to us. An ancient door is swinging free again. A long forgotten word re-echoes in our memory and gathers clarity as we are willing once again to hear. Walk then in gratitude the way of love. For hatred is forgotten when we lay comparisons aside. What more remains as obstacles to peace? The fear of God is now undone at last, and we forgive without comparing. Thus we cannot choose to overlook some things and yet retain some other things still locked away as sins. When your forgiveness is complete, you will have total gratitude, for you will see that everything has earned the right to love by being loving, even as yourself. Today we learn to think of gratitude in place of anger, malice, and revenge. We have been given everything. If we refuse to recognize it, we are not entitled, therefore, to our bitterness and to a self-perception which regards us in a place of merciless pursuit, where we are badgered ceaselessly and pushed about without a thought or care for us or for our future. Gratitude becomes the single thought we substitute for these insane perceptions. God has cared for us and calls us son. Can there be more than this? Our gratitude will pave the way to him and shorten our learning time by more than you could ever dream of. Gratitude goes hand in hand with love, and where one is the other must be found, for gratitude is but an aspect of the love which is the source of all creation. God gives thanks to you, his son, for being what you are, his own completion and the source of love along with him. Your gratitude to him is one with his to you, For love can walk no road except the way of gratitude, and thus we go who walk the way to God. Love is the way I walk in gratitude. I want to repeat this. Your gratitude to him is one with his to you. For love can walk no road except the way of gratitude, and thus we go who walk the way of God. Lesson 195. Thank you so much for joining me today. Let's just stick with this. And I'm still behind, but I don't care. Reviews are coming up in a few lessons. But that's okay. Let's just keep powering through this. Whenever this video finds you now or in the next 10 years, if I'm still reposting, hopefully I am. Why not, right? But yeah, make the choice to see your brother. If you really have felt that kind of up-leveling in your mind and that undoing, just look at any brother you come across, whether you're driving or walking or in the store, whatever, and just tell yourself they are no different than you. We came from the same place and we are going back to the same place. Why are they better or worse off than you? The only thing that differentiates in this dream state, in this dream world, in this 3D unreality, I call it, is our ego. That's it. That's it. It has nothing to do with God. Thank you for joining me. Till tomorrow. Take care.